Do you have any other thoughts on how we can limit the threat of AI and deep pockets on democracy?
It's a small question. I, I mean, I just think the point on this stuff is these companies and the power that's going to them looks sort of unstoppable. I don't think that's true. I think it's for nation states to have the confidence to regulate it the way they want to regulate and to decide what they want to do, what they want to do. My suspicion is that we're going to have a trade war sometime in the next year and a half because the European Union or European processes will end up finding someone like Elon Musk or Facebook for probably content violations. And that will probably trigger a pretty brutal, at least war of words, and hopefully not worse, with the United States and the current leadership there. So I think how that plays out is going to be a pretty key question in terms of where this goes. So that's the first thing. Second thing, I think if you think about the whole issues around misinformation, I think there's a lot of stuff people say about, well, we can do clever things with technology. And we can up to a point in terms of, for example, watermarking content and so on. But I think the real thing you need to do is you need to take an approach like the Finns have taken, which essentially is, information security is a national security issue, and therefore they spend a lot of time training kids from primary school, but also all sorts of professional groups around how to think about information warfare, how to think about misinformation, and so on. And so that's something which clearly has been sort of, if you like, built into their processes. So I just think there's a whole series of tactical things we can do. There could be tighter rules on funding. There could be tighter rules on what happens. There could be more public information around where ads come from and so on. But it's going to be essentially, do democratic governments have the will to bring in rules and then carry them through? And then secondly, can we actually get citizens being more widely educated about the stuff? Now, I think going back to the earlier question about sort of the AI first generation, they will probably be more inured to some of the risks than maybe some of the older generations. We've seen that with Meta misinformation or Facebook misinformation. But I think that training of the citizenry to be ready for this is ultimately the only way we can take it forward.